Hi guys, Blake here with another fun and exciting video, this time about operant conditioning. And you can think of operant conditioning as kind of almost a counterpoint to the behavioral conditioning in the other video. So quick little history thing, this was operant conditioning was developed by B.F. Skinner. He was a behavioral psychologist, really interesting guy. I would encourage you to go and read up on him if you're interested after this. But what is the goal of operant conditioning? And this is to change a behavior by changing its consequence. Alright? And a lot of times people may think that a consequence has a negative connotation, but really a consequence is just kind of an outcome or a reaction to the behavior. So, alright. So a couple of things that we need to define before we get started, and the first one of that is reinforcement. Okay, and reinforcement is really this term is just here to, it means to encourage a behavior. All right, and so reinforcement, its counterpoint is punishment. So if reinforcement is meant to encourage behavior, punishment is meant to discourage it. Okay? Simple enough. Some other words that we need to define is positive. Okay? Whenever you think of positive, think of the plus sign. Alright? And in math, that means that we add something. So when we think of positive, we think that we're going to add a consequence. Alright? And this isn't always necessarily a good thing. And its counterpoint is negative. So in math, think the minus sign and subtraction sign. So we're going to remove a consequence. Alright? And it's not always a bad thing. So, just stare at this for a little bit, write these down, keep them in your memory bank. Alright. So, first things first, positive reinforcement. Reinforce. Alright? This is also known as rewarding. Okay? And so in this example, we have a little kid. Little kid, does something good. Little kid cleans his room. We like little kid cleaning, so he cleans. That's good for him. Alright? And since we're going to reward him with positive reinforcement, we're going to add something that the little kid likes. And in this instance, little kids love candy. Who doesn't love candy? All right, it's a candy wrapper, not a bow tie. Okay, I'm a physician, not an artist. So, giving him that little candy is going to make the little kid happy. And little kid, smart, puts two and two together and says, hey, I'm going to clean my room because I like getting candy, alright? I think I get a reward for doing good things. I'm going to do good things, alright? So that's simple enough. The next one is negative reinforcement, alright? Okay. And there are two types of negative reinforcement. The first of which is escaping, alright? And here we remove, because it's negative, something bad. Alright, so in this instance, okay, we have somebody that's asleep. Okay, snooze, snooze, snooze. And what do you think we're going to remove here? Well, okay, we're going to subtract or remove the noxious stimuli of an alarm clock. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's annoying, alright? So this is going to wake him up. And in order for him to remove that, okay, he has to wake up. Okay, this is him waking up. Because he has to wake up in order to remove that. So then he takes his little, hammer and smashes it. So that's his hammer, and then no more alarm clock. All right, but in order to do that, he had to wake up. So he has been conditioned to wake up to the noise of that alarm clock to escape the noxious stimuli of the buzzing. All right. Next, we have another form of negative reinforcement, but this is avoidance. Okay? And here, we're trying to prevent something bad from happening. And let's use you as an example. So here you are. You're studying, big book, lots of information. You're studying for your big test, okay? And what we're trying to prevent is that we're going to subtract or remove the possibility of you failing that test, okay? You getting an F minus on that test, all right? And by removing the possibility of this ability, you're going to do wonderful in this test. You're going to make your A plus, and you're going to be very happy and grow your hair out right here. So we're avoiding the possibility or removing the possibility of that happening by studying, and that's going to mean that you succeed. Okay? Next, we have our positive punishment. Okay, positive punishment. Remember, punishment means that we're trying to discourage the behavior, and positive means that we're adding something. So let's say we have, a teenager, very apathetic, all right? The teenager stays out till, after curfew. So, what are we going to do to the teenager who does that? Well, remember, we're adding something that'll discourage. What do teenagers hate? Work. So we're going to make him do yard work, housework, all that stuff that teenagers don't like. All right? And this means that the teenager, in order to, avoid doing work in the future, is going to be in home at, curfew. Okay? All right, because he doesn't like the consequences of staying out too late. Okay? Next, or finally, I guess we should say, is the negative punishment. Okay? Classic example of this is time out. Okay. So we have a little kid being loud and rowdy, trying, upset, says some, choice words that, little kids probably shouldn't say, right? So, something bad. Well, because it's negative, we're going to take away something. So what are we going to take away? We take away the attention he was getting, and we take away the fun things that he would enjoy doing. So no iPod or iPad, whatever that is, iPhone. It's yellow, so it's the Generation 7. All right? And that's going to lead the little kid to being well behaved. All right? None of this language. No more language because he doesn't like that. So getting rid of all the bad words. All right. Hope this is clear as mud. Thank you for watching and have fun with the videos. All right. Good luck.